welcome to SVG-TV's news for Wednesday, July 6, 2022. I'm Triska Campbell with the details. St. Vincent and the Grenadines staged its first Vinci Mass in 2 years since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. The last lap of Vinci Mass saw many people flock the city of Kingston to take in the festivities. Our news team was in capital Kingston for Juve and Mardi Gras events to hear the people's thoughts on the festival.
Vincentians were outside in full force during the Carnival weekend at the Juve and Mardi Gras events. The future of Vinci Mass seemed up in the air due to the global pandemic, but stakeholders were able to rally to stage a successful festival. For organizers at the Carnival Development Corporation, challenges to staging a safe festival were plenty, as we hear from Marketing and Development Officer Esworth Ezzy Roberts.
The challenge we had basically was the short time frame that we had between when we were given the permission to have Carnival and the actual execution of the Carnival itself. That led to some restrictions in terms of numbers that the mass bands would have been able to cater for. Hence you're seeing the small numbers in each section today, which was expected. The bands indicated they could only create certain amount of costumes for a few sections, given that short window. The CDC was okay with it because we understand the restrictions that they face. But come next year, we're looking forward to the bands being able to go back to the full-scale Carnival and produce a full section. And we have Mardi Gras with the streets of Kingston filled as usual.
It was also a difficult time for band leaders who had to overcome numerous economic challenges and a limited time frame to prepare masqueraders for the road.
There were plenty. As usual, sponsorship was the hardest. But whatever little we got, we make it do. We didn't bring back 3 of our sections, which was 3 of our children's sections, because we were jumping around town, there was no need to have the kids today. So we just have the adults and the persons who work in the tent night after night to come and have a good time.
Street vendors were disappointed with the turnout at the Juve events, saying they were looking forward to higher sales this season.
This is my second day. Sales have been not as good as years gone by, but it's expected. People are mostly home, and then you're seeing more of the younger people coming out instead of the grown-ups with the money to spend. So it's expected that things wouldn't be. And strange enough too, for me, what caused the decline in sales, I think it's because of the amount of private shows. I think it's been overwhelming. At times there were 3 events per day, some days, some nights, but it left nobody to line in the square, So I hope the authorities could look into that. I don't know what can be done, but it can't be all private events.
Some revelers shared their thoughts about the street events. While some said they were happy to be back outside, others said they had hope for more.
And I just say I'm enjoying Carnival to the best, because after 2 years, I think this is a plus, and we patrons of Carnival really love it.
Hello, it's fun. Let me tell you, the amount of fat and food I could get here, so crayfish, everything is just nice there. Y'all should enjoy Carnival every time, and I hope they get next year.
I enjoyed the Juve so far, but what I expected is not like what I saw. More people to come out, and a lot of people are enjoying themselves, but that is not what I saw here this morning.
Well, if you would have looked at Juve in comparison to the past 5 years, you would have seen a vast improvement. In comparison, again, I use the word in comparison to the past 5 years. What would have happened 5 years ago? People would not have been on the street of Kingston before the 6 o'clock. But now, I would have came to Kingston 2 o'clock in the morning, and the street of Kingston would have been filled with persons from different race, ethnicity, and I think Carnival is well alive.
Reporting from the Big Road of Kingston for SVG-TV News, I am Christina Smith.
Delroy Fireman Hooper is on a carnival high after taking both the Raga Soca and Power Soca crowns. He also copped second place in the road march competition with Bad Demon. We hear more in this report.
2 years away from Carnival saw performers bring their best to the Royal Rumble stage in Victoria Park. Pyrotechnic displays, fire trucks, energetic dancers, and even an onstage marriage proposal. Carnival City had it all and more. 22 performances over 8 hours kept patrons well entertained and partying throughout the night, despite heavy showers. When the curtain fell, Delroy Fireman Hooper walked away with both crowns. He won the Raga Soca competition with Social Media Police and the Power Soca competition with Bad Demon. Former Raga Soca monarch Hans John had to settle for second place with All They Need, and Bongo Prime's Chemistry earned him third place. It was stiff competition in the Power Soca category with Kemi, Grab a Finesse, Carbon Jams, Magical, and Fire Empress all putting down solid performances. The judges awarded Grab a Finesse second place for place turnover, a decision that did not sit well with some of his supporters. Magical, who experienced a number of logistical hiccups in his performance, came in at number 3 and Kemi at 4th place. In his post-win interview, Fireman told the media from the semi-final stage of the competition he was confident that both crowns were his to take. We caught up with Fireman on the road from Mardi Gras, who says he was happy with his performance over the weekend.
Well, yeah, but I just leave it to play, right? Everybody have a shot at everything, and if it turned out that it's me, I love it. I did 2 crowns before. So right about now, hear that?
Bad Demon was unable to overcome Kemi's That's the Call in the road march competition. Third place went to Grab a Finesse with place turnover. Reporting from Carnival City, Christina Smith for SVG-TV News.
Maxwell Tajo Francis is the new king of Calypso as he dethroned 2019 monarch Chanel McKenzie in Sunday night's Calypso competition. In second place was a Kingsley Hero Roberts, third place Chanel McKenzie, and fourth place Glenroy Silly Caesar. In an interview shared on the Facebook page of Beauty of SVG with Auntie G Maxwell, Tajo Francis thanked all those who have supported him, noting that despite the challenges he faced with rehearsal, he continues to push forward.
I just want to say thank you to all the persons who assisted me in any way. I just want to thank all the fans who have been supporting me over the years. I want to thank all the people from North Rainwater who have also been supporting me in one way or another. It's always a difficult task doing Calypso every year, especially during the rehearsal process. And, rehearsal starts mostly at night in most cases, and then fancy being so far away, it's always an uphill battle. But when you want something and when you're involved in anything, you have to give 100%. That's right. And only through hard work can you be successful. And I will encourage any person who want to pursue any goals and objective that putting in the hard work, you can never fail.
Tajo expressed elation that he was once again crowned the National Calypso Monarch.
Probably one of the few Calypsonians whose clips have gotten maybe over 30,000 views on social media platform, and based on the response of the public and the way people respond to the song, even when it's played on radio, people were calling for the song and so on. A number of persons who I would have met on the street will stop and say, "Boy, Tajo, I just love this song here." So I knew that it was a song that was loved by the people, and that more than likely, once the night of the competition, I went there and put my best foot forward, I knew I would have been victorious. So the upcoming artists and performers is that you have to take time to learn your craft. You don't just get there today for today. You have to take the time to master the art, do a lot of reading if you are a writer, and research all the veterans that you can research, the people who have done it before, so that you get to learn from the best.
Here's a snippet of the performances of the top 3 in the National Calypso Monarch competition.
The devil contacted me, want to give me a walk in hell. I tell him straight up front, I don't want to ring no bell. I said, "So you must understand, I want a job as a fireman. I want to blaze hellfire under some man and woman." The devil then said to me, "Like you don't want to make money." I said, "So I'll be doing this job for free. I want to work for my daily bread, keep the hellfire hot and red. I wait impatiently for they reach the land of the dead." So all the men who love rape woman, when you hear the fall in my hand, man, it's fire blazing under them rocks.
Do they get the impression that this land was discovered in 2001? You don't know nothing about Mother Big, so Yati Boogaloo, because all they could tell you is what Ralph Gonsalves do.
And unity, when sanctions your concern, should be how to build back sweet SVG. We almost lost it all, lost so friends, but and bury us. Had not for Caribbean neighbors, it would be ashes to ashes, just to that. So I'm begging all on sundry, this is my final plea.
Style Steel Orchestra, with its rendition of Harry Bank by Posa, came out on top in the National Panorama competition, with Sign Hill Euphorium Steel Orchestra second, with I Don't Mind by Winston Soso, and third place Epic Sound Steel Orchestra with Loving Cat done by Touch. Here's a snippet of their performances at Victoria Park on Sunday, July 3rd. Kemi Christopher with Does the Call got 56 points to win the road match title for Vincy Mas 2022. 2 points separated each of the positions in the road match competition, with Delroy Fireman Hooper Bad Demon coming second with 54 points. Third place went to Keith Grabber Finish Charles, placed on over with 52 points. Patrons and revelers kept police officers on their feet during the last lap of Vincy Mas celebrations over the weekend. The crowd at the Soca Monarch competition on Saturday night got out of hand, resulting in several persons being treated for injuries at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. After the conclusion of the performances in the Power Soca competition, projectiles including glass bottles, aerosol cans, and other items were fired into the air, causing head injuries to almost a dozen patrons. Persons were also engaged in using bacon bottles as lighters, which caused injuries to others. During the show, some patrons threw down the barricades and stormed the stage, forcing police to intervene to restore order. The incident threatened to bring a close to the end to the show without the results being announced. In a release, the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force condemned the irresponsible behavior of the patrons. Commissioner of Police Colin John told SVG-TV News that the police force will be implementing measures in the future to ensure that aerosol cans and lighters are not used at events.
At some point, some persons threw bacon cans in the air also. Some Magnum bottles. I understand that some persons got injured. So we spoke to the patrons, the persons who are selling those drinks, to avoid selling drinks in those bottles, and also we also clamp down on the bacons and things of that nature to prevent things like that happen recurring during the whole season. We have to be more strict on that, really, because we have to avoid injuring one person to enjoy themselves in a safe environment, and we're trying to do that as best as possible.
Commissioner John said the RSVG police force confiscated a number of weapons at events, including a firearm. He says despite these incidents, the carnival season was relatively quiet.
The police, we try to be as proactive as possible in our operations. We had police officers implanted in the bands and different areas about Kingston. So we're able to intercept persons. In fact, yesterday we caught someone in the band with a firearm. We also took away several scissors and knives and things of that nature from persons. Also, the no glass bottle policy was enforced by the police. So when we see persons walking along the street with glass bottles, we would stop them and take them and ask them to consume the alcohol and hand over the bottle to the police. So it was relatively quiet.
After a 2-year hiatus, Vincentians were happy to have had the opportunity to participate in Vincy Mas this year, even though the COVID-19 pandemic is not yet over. Carnival lovers expressed to our news team today that although Vincy Mas this year was a much scaled-down version of the largest cultural festival on the island, it is still a great one, and they are looking forward to the next year.
Carnival was amazing. I started from H2 straight up to slippery when wet. Vitamins, lots of water, and I did get some sleep on Saturday. I didn't do anything on Saturday, but it was an amazing time.
It was not too bad for past 2 years. Like literally 2 years pass and people still get to party. You know, it's not that vibrant as like how we used to, because the 2 years make it apart. Like people are literally hungry for party. But so far so good. Is like what I like is less violence. That is something we step up with. Trust me.
Concerns have been expressed throughout the season with the presence of a number of teens at some events, and today similar sentiments were shared with persons calling on the authorities to address the matter.
I still do believe that there should be a 21 and over age limit at events, but I guess that's a discussion for something later down.
Well, it's a kind of trend in society. Parents not really playing their role as parents, so you find a lot of kids be turning out the activity which is supposed to be. I think the moral of society has been breaking down as years go by.
Well, be honestly speaking, that is something they're slacking on, because at least promoters are looking for money. They're not looking at kids. But this is what I'm saying now. Police officers are there to take precaution of your age and what's not going into that part. Because when you look at a kid like that size, you know he's young. Obviously, as a police officer, you see that no matter they buy the ticket, they can't come in because they're not to age. That's something I'm seeing in a lot of parties now. A lot of kids are going. And the parent need to take more precaution of what they're doing, letting their kid go into these big crowds, and sometimes when you find fighting, they might get trampled. So that is something I don't like about, you know, the Carnival kids. They have the time for kids, which is Tuesday.
Our news team also caught up with artist Darren Magical Rose, who placed third in the Power Soca Monarch competition. He said he accepts the results, but was a bit disappointed with the results for Road March.
The judging decision is final. Judging decision is final. So, yeah, the judges know what they mark for, what they look for. In the Soca Monarch category, I was placed third. Well, a lot of things went wrong. If the judges say I come third, well, the judges' decision is final. The Road March, the songs, what I was looking forward for, as in my top 3 pick, was only one alone made it in the top 3. So, just I find it real harsh to in the Road March. In the Road March, I think it's in the Road March. To me, I was looking for a different lineup, but the judges know what they are looking for. Probably that was the song we play at the point where the judges are judging. Yeah, but as I say again, for me with the Road March, it is set right to me. Hi.
In other news now, the police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of Ronald Batista, a 35-year-old fisherman of Fitzhugh who died on July 1st after being shot about his body with a shotgun on June 27, 2022 in Fitzhugh by an unknown assailant or assailants. Batista succumbed to his injuries at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. A post-mortem examination is expected to be conducted on the body to ascertain the exact cause of death. The police say investigations into Batista's death are ongoing, and persons with information who can assist with the investigation are encouraged to contact the police. Batista's death marks the 23rd homicide reported for 2022. Meanwhile, police have arrested and charged Omando Mofford, a 27-year-old farmer of Glen, with the offense of possession of an unlicensed firearm, possession of unlicensed ammunition, and possession of offensive weapon. The accused allegedly had in his possession one black and silver Smith & Wesson 9mm semi-automatic pistol, serial number TFR7136, and 10 rounds of 9mm ammunition without a license issued under the Firearm Act. Mofford was also charged with having in his possession an offensive weapon, a pair of black scissors, and a gold letter opener in public place without lawful excuse. The incidents occurred in Kingstown between 9:45 p.m. and 10 p.m. on July 4th, 2022. The accused appeared at the Serious Offences Court today to answer to the charges and pleaded not guilty. He was granted bail in the sum of $16,000 with one surety with the following conditions. 1, to report every Monday and Thursday at the Calypso police station between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. 2, curfew from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. to surrender all travel documents, to seek permission from the courts to leave the state. The matter was adjourned to September 8th, 2022.